How's it going, everyone? So Eggstrawork is back on again on Bonerattle Arena. And these are the weapons and specials for this rotation. The weapons are pretty straightforward this time, and if you just get someone really skilled on the Explosher, you should have a really good time. And as a reminder, this is just a general guide, you don't have to follow it to a T, but this is just how to generally get a good sum of eggs. I always recommend that you play with friends or people that you know and not to use freelance, as that can be very volatile, and so that you can get a consistent strategy down with communication. And like always, there will be a salmonrun Discord linked in the description down below, and if you find this helpful, like and subscribe. Before we begin, I'd like to give a huge thank you to the names on the screen right now. And like always, during the first wave you just want to get 21 eggs as usual. Okay, now that's over with, time for the second wave, which is Mudmouths. Also, make sure you painted up the walls of the middle here so that you can have easy access to the basket. The first Mudmouth will spawn on the left hand side here on the shore, and since we have an Explosher for this rotation, it makes it really easy to kill the Mudmouths. Just aim the Explosher at the back of the mouth of the Mudmouse and it should only take 3 hits to kill. The Explosher should always be focusing on killing the Mudmouse, while the 3 other people should be focusing on putting eggs in the basket. When throwing eggs from the ground up into the basket, try to get them into the basket so that you don't have to pick them up and put it in later. So as you can see here, the Explosher is going all around the map trying to kill Mudmouse as fast as possible so that the most amount of eggs can appear. And make sure you split people up so that you are all collecting eggs very efficiently. Make sure to keep an eye on the snatchers as they can take eggs away from the basket. The rest of the wave is basically just doing the same thing over and over again, but trying to put the eggs in as efficiently as possible. And if you're on this side over here putting in eggs, you can actually jump off this platform to get a little bit of height so that you can throw the eggs directly into the basket. If there were a lot of eggs missed but are close to the basket, make sure someone goes up and puts them into the basket. And we ended up averaging around 70 eggs here, but try to aim for at least 65. And now we're on to wave 3, which is a normal tide. So the first boss will spawn on this shore over here, and you can just kill it relatively quickly because you are able to throw the eggs up into the basket from down here. And make sure to grab every single one of these eggs down here. On this wave you can use specials as needed, but I prefer not to use any splashdowns on this wave and save them for later. Make sure to kill all the stingers that spawn, as they can get very annoying and quite a bit of them spawn. And don't die stupidly like me here. Also, there will be big shot that spawn on the right shore, so send some people over there to kill the big shots, as well as a couple bosses that spawn with it, and put the eggs into the big shot basket. As you can see here, we're making sure that we take good care of the stingers, as they are very annoying on this map. As you can see there in the far back that there is a flyfish that spawns, but it spawns a little too late, so you don't need to worry about it at all. We usually ended up getting around 45 eggs, so I try to aim for around 45 eggs as well, but try to at least meet the 1x5 quota. So the fourth wave here is a fog wave. And on this wave, the goldies aren't that big of an importance as most of them only drop one egg. So the first couple bosses spawn on this side, and make sure to kill them and get the eggs. And you can kill them as fast as you can because a big shot does appear with a cannon that you can put the eggs into. And like I said before, feel free to kill the first two goldies whenever as they only drop one egg. If you are having a hard time clearing all the salmonids on this wave, feel free to use a special like a crab or a booyah bomb. And as you can see, there is a flyfish that spawned on the left of my screen here, so make sure the Expo takes care of that relatively quickly. And here I killed the second goldie. I know I killed the second goldie because I saw my teammate kill the first one, so that means that the next goldie will be a 10 egger. And usually on this map, I noticed that a lot of eggs were left scattered around the middle part here, so try to get them into the basket. And make sure to not die like me here in the last couple of seconds, because the last couple of seconds is usually when you get the most eggs into the basket. We barely met the 1.5 times quota here, but if you don't, that's alright. Try to aim for around 40 eggs on this wave. So now we're on to wave 5, which is low tide. And on this wave, if you have specials left over, you can just spam them whenever, and I'll show you where to use these splashdowns. And make sure to paint up this middle part so that you guys have easy access to everything. So right off the bat, a big shot will spawn along with the big shot basket. So make sure some people come over here to clear up all the bosses and salmonids over here, but make sure that someone stays behind in the middle so that they can clean up the extra eggs that missed the basket from the big shot cannon. And as you can see, I use a splashdown there right at the start just to speed up the wave a little bit. And make sure those two stingers at the back are taken care of so they're not a nuisance. There will also be a flyfish that spawns in that back as well, so make sure the Eggsplasher can go take care of it. And ever since the start, there were always bosses spawning at the big shot basket, so make sure someone is always keeping an eye over on this area so that they can always take care of the big shot. And I would recommend that the Eggsplasher stay near the middle so that they can snipe off the backline bosses like the flyfish and the stingers as they spawn. And there I used another splashdown just to clear things up so that we have an easier time getting eggs in the basket. And that's mainly what you want to do with all your specials on wave 5, you just want to use them so you have an easier path to putting more eggs into the basket. And here we got a good sum of 65 eggs, and I would aim for around 55 eggs on this wave. That brings our total egg count to 251, and on this Eggstrawork, I would say around 220 to 230 would be the top 5%, so try to get your high score around there. If this video was helpful, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.